Drop it now. We're good.
Chip,
I won't be able to drop the mic.
I guess 5 days into this, has a pecking order developed for quarterbacks? Is there a front runner?
No, it's just we're just trying to, as I told the players, don't count your reps, make your reps count, and I think they're doing a good job, all of them. We're still kind of going through that. I would say probably towards the end of this week we'll start to kind of hone in on it. But it's part of is when again now the day of the lineup changes every day, like who's in with what group, and just kind of mixing and matching right now. But we're all just trying to make the most of our reps, be valuable because of how we're doing it. And a lot of it's two fields, so we got two different groups going on at the same time. And with two different groups going on at the same time, there's a bunch of reps to be had. You know, our first practice, I think we had 96 team reps in the first practice, so there's enough to go around right now. When we start to consolidate and stop doing the two field works and start to get into one field work, then I think you got to start to kind of cut the reps down for some people.
So we saw on Sunday, Will took, I think, all but 15 reps of the 11 on 11.
Yeah, I wouldn't read into anything of that. I think the next day next day he may have gone with the 3. So.
Chip Ryan said that he thought coming into the fall he saw more zip power on Will's throws. Did you see that? And kind of what have you seen both him and Devin through that?
Yeah, I do. And I just think it's when Will got here, both Will, Julian, and Nair got here in January. You know, Lincoln and Devin had been here for a while. So sometimes zip is do you know what you're doing? You know, when you have confidence to get back there, and I know the progression right away, and I can rip it right now. Sometimes you're a little bit tentative, so the ball may not come off your hand the right way. But I've seen improvement from Will from where we were in the spring to where we were now.
When I asked about Julian after the spring game, you said the biggest compliment you give him is that he doesn't look the freshman. Does he still look like that out there?
No, Jules he just stays in the moment. That's the one thing I like about him. He doesn't, if he throws a bad ball, it doesn't bother him. If he throws a good ball, he doesn't get overexcited and say, you know, hey, I just arrived. He's always thinking about the next snap, and he's done a really good job with it. You know, just not kind of playing into anything, just trying to stay present. And that's what we're trying to get with all these guys, is that just stay present, just stay in the moment. You know, this is the 5th training session. I'm not sure anybody knows what day it is right now, because everything runs together. You don't have a day off in terms of weekends, Sunday, Mondays, or whatever it is. It's just, how do I get better in this period? And then right now, the next process is we got to go in and watch a film, and everything we just did on the field, we now got to process again. Was this a good decision? Was this a bad decision? Why did you make the decision? And then, all right, we're going to continue down this path, or no, we got to correct this.
Chip, the team speed, how does it stack up with some of the better teams that you've coached? You've coached a lot of fast guys over the years.
Yeah, I mean, this team can run. You know, there's no Noah Lyles. But, I mean, he went 27.1 miles per hour. I mean, that was, we talked about that. Coach Day showed that in the meeting, you know, talked about where he was and how he finished. There was a great lesson there. But there's a lot of guys at a lot of positions that can run. And the guys that are the most impressive to me are the big guys that can really run. You know, we got some bigger guys. Will Howard's a great example. Will went 22 miles an hour this summer at 237 pounds. So we got a bunch of guys who can move.
Just for Julian, when we were out there the first 4 days, it seemed like sometimes you guys would give him some opportunities to go with it, but also kind of reel him back in when he was making some of those rushing mistakes. Just how does he handle maybe hard coaching?
Yeah, Julian's great, but I wouldn't read into it. He may have gotten with the ones because in the rotation, the whole group was changing on the 4s, but the quarterback were changing on the 2s. So it just matched up that he was with the 1. So whatever group they're in, and I tell our guys, I don't really care what group you're in. I care about how do you execute. What is your assignment? Do you have a plan when you get to the line of scrimmage, and do you execute that plan? So Julian's been great.
Chip, this is the first year analysts can coach and practice with you guys. You have so Billy can help out more than he could a year ago. Is that helpful to have like an
It's helpful for everybody. You know, I think every position now has really embraced where we are. We've got some really smart guys that have been in the analyst roles here. Tim Drevno with the offensive line. You know, Drev's been an NFL O-line coach. He's coached at a lot of programs, a lot of Power 5 programs. So for him to be with the O-line, for Billy, who's got is one of the really bright young coaches in this country. You know, I hired Billy as my quarterback coach at UCLA, and we were fortunate to get him back here. And then when the rule changed, now he can actually give instruction on the field instead of just take notes and chart plays on the field. So all of that is beneficial. I think at every position, everybody has done a great job of using their analysts. And I know for all of us, you know, the more voices we can have, I think it's beneficial for the team.
How do you use them? What do you?
I think he does a great job with talking to who's not in. You know what I mean? You know, if you watch our quarterbacks, they're stacked up in behind. You know, so Billy's having conversations with them while whoever's in, Will's in, Devin's in, Lincoln's in. You know, he's got that group in behind, and they're going through that play. Where obviously, I don't have an opportunity while I'm watching the play and doing all that stuff. He can stand with those guys in behind and tell them what the play call is, West right slot, 322, Y stick, look for the halfback on the burst here. He can have that conversation with those guys, and then they can talk about what was that read that the quarterback was in, while Coach Day and myself can give feedback to the quarterback that is in. So.
How do y'all play that in meetings, though, Chip? I mean, who knows when to speak up? Who can speak up and when to speak up, and who do they speak up to? You know what I mean? From a
I think in all rooms the position coaches run in the meeting room, but obviously we always use assistants. There's some times where you give projects. Hey, we're going to the meeting today. You got 7-on-7. I'm going to take 11-on-11. So you can go back and forth with that.
Yeah, and offensive line wise, what stuck out at you the first several days? I mean, do you see the makings of a good unit, great unit? What's just sort of your take on that? Right guard, how's that feel?
I do see a making of a really good unit, and I think the first thing that I noticed is that whole group worked extremely hard with Mick in the summertime. So where they are physically, they came to camp ready to play and ready to compete. And again, the reps part for every position, not only quarterback, but whether it be right guard, right tackle, whatever it is we're just rolling. We're just trying to get as much film on tape. You hear and you forget, you see and you remember, you do and you understand. So how many reps can we get for our players so that they really, truly understand what we're doing? And that's what we're really trying to push through right now. Knock on wood, we've been really, really healthy so that we continue to play at least 3 full groups right now. So everybody's getting a ton of reps and we're just rolling. And then we got to run in there as quick as possible, watch the tape as the coaches, and then get ready for our afternoon meetings, and then get ready for walk through at night, and then we, kind of rinse and repeat. That's kind of that's where we are in this mode of camp right now. So
Chip Ryan has mentioned a couple times that it feels like your impact not primarily, has been largely to help enhance the running game, and that maybe the ideas you've had are different from the last time you guys worked together. How has your philosophy for running football changed, do you think, since the last time you guys worked together?
I think your philosophy is always built upon who your players are. So the last time we were together, we had different personnel. So you're just always trying to feature what do you do really well, and then trying to mask what you don't do really well. So I think it's always morphed, and sometimes you're you're more of a run RPO team. Other times you're more of a spread them out, throw the ball down the field, and then you're running screen and draws. It just really depends on your personnel. So I think maybe that's how it's changed a little bit. Our personnel has been different, so you get to learn some new things to adapt it to your personnel.
What do you think what would this team do?
They do a lot well. That's the good thing about this place. I don't think there's one singular thing. I think there's a lot of talent in the running back room. There's obviously a lot of talent in the wide receiver room. So I think there's going to be a good balance.